everybody. Welcome to another episode of Kim Takes On. I am Kim, your hostess. Hope everybody's having a terrific week out there. And as always, my co host, Terrence the Wonder Duck, says hello and hopes everybody else is having a great week too. Terrence, love you. Today's topic is one that's really near and dear to my heart, and I know it's near and dear to everybody out there in the vinyl community and anybody else who likes to listen to this who loves music. My top five list of, in my opinion, just mine, nobody else's, um, favorite rock slash metal singers. Now, this is my list for today. The list might change tomorrow in order and stuff like that, but this is the number of these are the top five people that if somebody said to me, "Hey Kim, who are your favorite artists?" they would wind up on my list. Now, I would also like to bring up that I am talking about that most of them I got into, a long time ago. What I'm going by is when these singers were in their prime. I'm not saying that any of them have lost a step. Would never say anything like that, but y'all know what I mean. So, to begin with, one of my favorite rock slash metal singers, Alice Cooper. I absolutely have always loved Alice. The very first place I ever saw Alice Cooper, surprisingly enough, was The Muppet Show. I'd never really heard of him before that, and I watched Alice, you know, singing songs like School's Out and You and Me and things like that. And I remember watching him, and my little brain was going, I want to do that. I want to be outrageous and crazy and run around on stage like a nutcase, and I want people to love me for it. And, well, I've never made it to Broadway, but I've probably scarred a few people with my own performances on stage. I don't know. But and Alice is still out there and going strong, and you have to just definitely respect him for his longevity and the fact that he just keeps going and keeps being awesome. Um, the thing I love the most about Alice is the fact that his voice is so perfect for telling stories, especially stories that are a little bit more on the darker side. Songs like, well, obviously a song like "I Love the Dead" is not going to get major airplay on most stations, but it's still, it's a wonderfully, delightfully creepy song. Something like "Welcome to My Nightmare" that you hear, every Halloween, and also something like really kind of tender, like "You and Me," which is just an amazing song. And there's just that softness in his voice that isn't there for every song because it doesn't work with every song. Um, but I love Alice. I think that he's just amazing and funny, very witty guy, and he is definitely the one of the people that's always high on my list of favorite singers. Another one of my favorite singers, uh, Tom Kiefer from the band Cinderella. Now I know a lot of people out there who were part of the MTV generation. Hello, yes, we see you. I'm part of you too. That was the first place I ever heard of Cinderella was seeing the video for Shake Me. And I was like, hey, these guys are really good. And I really fell in love with them after that. And Tom has that I tend to view it as what I term it in, this is my own take, is a whiskey growl. He's got that whiskey smoky growl to his voice, and it's really, really amazing, and it just captivates you. Whether it's a song where it's more, raunchy, something like "Shake Me," or something that's a little bit more dealing with a relationship that fell apart, like "Nobody's Fool," or something like something that's got a real, I don't want to say downer vibe to it, but it's definitely got more of a melancholy vibe. Something like "Don't Know What You've Got Till It's Gone," which is one of my favorite songs. Um, or even something that's a little bit more rocky, raucous, like "Gypsy Road." Tom just has that voice that just kind of pulls you in, and that's why I still love him. I think he's a great artist, and I think he's fantastic. So that's my next choice, Tom Kiefer from Cinderella. The next artist on my list is again, this is the MTV influence, I guess. Joe Elliott from Def Leppard. Joe has this voice that I don't know how else to put it, but this sounds kind of strange the way I'm going to say it. But he's got that swagger in his voice. He's got that rock star swagger, kind of rough around the edges kind of thing. Especially the song. I mean, you go back to some of the really early stuff like off of High and Dry, or even something like Pyromania, where the band's a little bit younger and stuff like that, and you had stuff like Foolin' and Photograph and things like that, and his voice just has that, I'm young, I'm out there having a good time, and I'm just being me. And I really, really love that. I love that confidence that his voice has and still has. And then you go a little forward into, like you listen to a song like one of my I mean, I really do love rock songs. I don't want y'all to get the idea that I don't love rock songs, but I also love ballads. I can't help it. I'm a girl. We got our softer side. And I do like ballads or softer songs or even sad songs sometimes. And if you listen to Joe's voice in something like Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad, um there's just there's so much longing and so much ache in his voice in that song, and it resonates with you even if you're someone that's been in a relationship, and you know that you and this person don't work together, but somehow it still feels right. That's what I get out of that song. It's like that this girl I gotta have, but you can't. And there's just always that kind of ache and longing, and I really feel like Joe captures that perfectly. Then you get a song like Make Love Like a Man, which is just cheeky. It's just this really kind of cheeky, swaggery kind of a song. And I love it. I love that song. I love I just really love Joe's voice. I think also that when you do a cover of somebody else's stuff, you need to be careful that you obviously want to do it so people can tell it's not the original, that it's you. Like their version of No Matter What, I really feel like that's a really good example of taking a song and making it your own. And I think Joe really does a really good job with that. So the next person on my list is Joe Elliott from Def Leppard. Next person, I realize this is probably going to piss some people off because I'm trying to look at this as just the song and my feeling of the singers and such like that. Um, because this person has had their share of controversy, and unfortunately, sometimes it's been because of the song. But one of my favorite singers, Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. Now, I know some people out there just went, WTF are you talking about? And a few other people probably just went, you're only saying that because you thought he was hot when he was younger. I did. I admit it. I'm a woman. I have needs. Don't judge me. Um, but when the first time I ever heard Welcome to the Jungle, I was like, what the heck is this? And I don't mean that in a bad way. It was like when you take a drink of something that you've never had before, and it just kicks you in the head and you're like, what the heck? That was Axl Rose's voice to me. It was just so emotional and so powerful and so overwhelming. And the weird thing is, when you saw the video, you were like, that guy? That voice is coming out of that guy? And I don't mean that in an embarrassing way. I don't mean to say that in a way that sounds like I'm trying to shame anybody or anything like that. it's just the fact that Axel, he was this kind of, not really tall, kind of slim, and there's this voice that's just like this amplified rage, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is, if this guy doesn't burn out, he's going to be an amazing addition to rock and roll. Amazingly, he hasn't burnt out, and I'm happy for that. I think we all are. Um, there's just so many times when Axel's voice has made me have so many different emotions. You hear a song like, I'll give you an example. You hear a song like My Michelle, where he's talking about this woman that has screwed up her life, and he's not doing it in a catty, nasty, ha ha, look at you how you screwed up your life way. He's saying it in a way that's like, what are you doing kind of way. And it kind of reaches out to you and makes you realize this person really cared about this other person, and watching them screw up their life is killing him. And I think that's really, it really comes through in the song. But another song where you can, I mean, a lot of people criticize Axel about, like, oh, all he does is scream and stuff like that and so on and so forth. Um, but another song, if you want to take a look at something or a song that where you definitely realize that he's more than just someone that stands in front of a mic and screams, Civil War. I mean, you hear the pain in his voice talking about the Civil War that we go through as human beings, and the fact that human beings just find all these reasons to hate each other and kill each other, and it's just so pointless and ridiculous and absurd. um I mean, it's, I was at a very low point in my life at one time. It was after the riots in LA, and that was all over the news that it was going on. There was a news story around where I lived about a tragedy, a killing, and it was very sad. And I put this song on, and I just sat there and just cried because I felt like his voice was his words, the lyrics, and his voice were all saying things that I wanted to say. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why this world is falling apart. And that's what I got from his voice in this song. Axel has one of those voices that can make you feel. It can make you want to just pump up and, bang your head. It can make you just kind of sit there and think about things sometimes. And sometimes it can scare you. If you go to My World, which is the last song on Use Your Illusion 2, I think. If you listen to My World, it's this very tiny little song, but oh my gosh, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. It's just this really frightening look inside the mind of what sounds like a very ill individual, and the way Axel performs it is frightening. I mean, it's actually frightening. When a singer can make you feel, and make you feel whatever the song's trying to convey, happiness, anger, love, fear, whatever, then they've done an amazing job. And that's why Axl Rose is on my list for amazing singers. The last person that I want to bring up is, I wanted to save them for last because they're not here anymore. And I wanted to just kind of tell myself I wasn't going to get upset. Janie Lane. Janie Lane was the singer for Warrant, and he had this amazing voice that could be raucous, it could be angry, it could be funny, and it could also just break your heart. I mean, you listen to a song like Down Boys or Cherry Pie if you want something that's kind of, more, hey, we're rock stars and we want to have fun and get with girls and isn't life a party and stuff like that. And that was great. That was Warrant. And then you listen to a song like I Saw Red, which is about a betrayal of a relationship, and there is so much pain in his voice, and it just it just takes you to that place where you're like, wow, dude, that really hurt. I'm really sorry for you. I'm sorry you went through that. And something like which is, it's technically not a song, but it is on the album if you go to know where to look for it. Ode to Tipper Gore, which is just basically Janie cursing um for about a minute and a half or so. And if you get it, you get it. If you were a young person in the the late 80s, early 90s, you get it. And Janie was just he was so talented and so amazing and so missed. I mean, I don't really know how else to say it, but just missed by a lot of people, including me. And you know, it's kind of one of those things where when I was told, I was like, "What? He no." I was like, "This is not right. This is not supposed to be happening." I think we always think that when someone we care about passes away, you know. But he had this voice that was just amazing. And on a purely physical level, and I realize this is just, you don't want to hear this, but you're going to anyway because it's my show. Our show. Sorry, Terrence. Our show. Very, very big. Janie had one of the most beautiful smiles in rock and roll. He really did. He just had this beautiful, sweet smile, and you definitely see it in the video for Heaven. And I hope that's where he is right now. I really do. I miss him a lot. I miss anybody who creates beautiful music because music is necessary. I mean, music is necessary as a species. We need music. We just do. You know, that's just my opinion. For what it's worth, I might be wrong. I don't know. So my list of singers that I really love: Alice Cooper, Tom Kiefer from Cinderella, Joe Elliott from Def Leppard, Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, and Janie Lane from Warrant. Now, I know some people are going to be like, well, those aren't really hard, rock and stuff like that. Where's Tom Araya? Where's, Dave Mustaine, stuff like that. Um, I'm not saying I don't like that stuff. I do like it. I don't own any of it, but I do like it. But it's a little bit too hard for me. I can listen to that stuff, but like, okay, that's a little too much now. Thank you, I'm done. But if you guys have any lists of your favorite singers, I would love to know what they are. I would love you to send them to me so I can read them on my little old show and everybody can find out who you like to listen to too. That would be really great. You can send that to platinumroselle@yahoo.com and I will definitely read it on the air. If you guys have any comments, queries, questions, complaints, money. No, don't do that. Don't send money. You'd like to send that also, platinumroselle@yahoo.com. If you have any any lists you'd like me to do, you want to give me a topic or whatever, send that along, and I'll do my best to get it out there for you, and we can all talk about it and have a great time. I hope you will check out all of the other videos that are on our little channel here, and let us know what you think. That would be really, really great. So this is Kim signing off for another week of Kim Takes On, me and Terrence the Wonder Duck. We hope that you have an absolutely wonderful week and keep rocking.